Hi Cancer, the Awakened Dreamer here to give you your weekly tarot reading for the week of March 28th to April 3rd, 2022. Thank you so much for joining me. And I do want to remind you, as always, this is general for the week, so just take what resonates. And as well, thank you in advance for your likes, comments, and subscriptions to the channel if you haven't done so already. Now, to book a personal reading with myself, just reach out via email and I'll definitely get that started for you. Everything you need is down below in the description box. And as well, don't forget to stick with me till the very end of this video, this reading, to get an answer to your own yes or no question. So just think of it along the way. More importantly, the overall message I channeled for you for your week, the race to your freedom, the race to your freedom, and the song that Spirit chose to speak upon your week on shuffle. You got Against the Grain by Akon, Against the Grain. Love this song. I'll leave it down below for you to listen to and or look up the lyrics. And let's begin. We're going to start by pulling several messages from the Sacred Traveler Oracle deck, and then we'll further speak upon your week with the Tattoo Tarot deck. All right? A push to recognize that you need to go with the flow throughout the week to surrender to how things are meant to unravel. Feels like you desire a level of control in one way, shape, or form for Cancer. Cancer for this upcoming week. I just heard I feel a little bit stuck. I feel a little bit stuck. So how are we going to adjust that? For Cancer. Okay, so we're beginning with fellow travelers. Support is all around you. Support is all around you, and I feel like you forget that at times in the midst of feeling a bit shaky or just a little bit on edge, having a lot to accomplish. A true focus on your happiness with this rainbow here. They're saying the gold at the end of the rainbow, your treasure, if you will. And I feel like this week it may feel as if your freedom, your certain goals or one big goal, which feels very much intertwined with your freedom, is representing that gold at the end of the rainbow, okay, on the other side. A little bit of work in order to acquire it, but it just feels like you're racing towards it. But it feels like in the midst of that race towards that freedom, you could be restricting oneself or just stripping away that freeing feeling all the meanwhile. And I know that seems a bit difficult to grasp, but it just feels like that's what's taking place at this time. Not feeling like fully showing off in one way, shape, or form, but putting oneself out there in certain ways. Being reminded all the meanwhile that a lot of people are there to assist you if you so choose. It just feels like at times your independence takes over, or your strive for just that. You don't feel the need to accept help or even ask for it when it could do you a lot of justice. All right, take a weight off your shoulder. Or shoulders. Fogged in, go slow, take time. And I feel like you're pushed to recognize that at times you're not meant to see everything that's meant to transpire moving forward along your path. You're not meant to fully have all the answers. You may hold oneself back due to the lack of answers, or even if you had all of which, to take your time to go slow throughout the week and not feel the need to rush once again towards that freedom, the completion of certain goals of fulfillment, and change that I feel you desire at this time. It feels like there's a lot in between you and one big change. It could even be a chunk of time that feels inevitable, already set in place. So don't allow yourself to feel discouraged in the midst of that in-between stage, if you will. But push to recognize that slow and steady wins the race throughout this week for you, okay? Your peace is at risk. First light, beginning a new cycle. And so it feels like in the midst of all of which you're being prepped to begin a new cycle, they're saying for some of you it starts now. It could be just wiping the emotional slate clean and allowing yourself to start fresh, or just simply feeling like there's just a lot changing and you're getting ready to hatch a new egg and move towards a new chapter that feels like a stepping stone in a lot of ways. Feeling a level of not being fully satisfied or just feeling incomplete, and therefore reminding oneself why you desire a big change, why you feel the need to not be restricted or tied down in a lot of ways, okay? with rejuvenating rain being the last one. It talks about clearing the past and healing the present. All right. It's a week where, as you're pushed to slow it down, as you're pushed to enjoy the journey along the way and embrace where you're at, where you're heading, and just going with the flow all the meanwhile. You're being guided to heal what you've been through, right? Heal oneself from what you've been through, the wounds that life has inflicted upon you, if you will. And I know that's a bit, they're saying depressing, but all the meanwhile, it just feels like it will help you move forward and make the best out of what lies ahead. Okay. They're now saying let the abundance reign in all the meanwhile. As I look at an infinite abundance, if I could even say it, talking about it pouring into your life. I love how these readings just pan out sometimes, excuse me. Again, a push to focus on enjoying your journey along the way, all right? And not just doing what you have to do all the meanwhile, and therefore forgetting about the enjoyment you deserve, all right? And it feels like you're planning a lot, creating a lot, developing a lot, just doing what you have to, being very mature about your career and just your financial obligations and even catching up with people, right? And it just feels like you're a bit depleted and lacking that enjoyment and color in your experiences. And sometimes can't really put your finger on as to why. You'll do a better job moving forward of enjoying oneself. Just keep the motivation alive with the Chariot here, okay? Remember what you want to move towards. With the 10 of Swords, completion is a must at times, feeling quite depleted throughout the week. I don't feel a hefty amount of over-exuding oneself or just your energy being over the top throughout the week. But it's good that you're not overly forcing it to be strategic with where you put your resources, who deserves and what deserves your valuable time and resources. As once again, with the Emperor coming out twice, you're planning, you're very overly serious at times about what you want to achieve, but is that really helping you achieve it all the meanwhile? Or are you just not enjoying oneself, right? With the 10 of Pentacles, it feels like that's your main goal, your finances, your pentacles, your security, stability, your career success. Thinking about the future very heavily. And at times that weighing you down and making you feel a bit drained all the meanwhile. But again, I need to heal with the Star. Think about what you truly desire, but don't stress over it. Make a wish and manifest it all the meanwhile. And let the universe back you up and do its part, if you will. With the 6 of Swords and the 9 of Cups, sailing away from something, moving forward is going to bring you an immense amount of fulfillment and success, a wish fulfillment. Okay, wow. Bear with me as I was pushed to just drop that. They're saying as that just did a flip, it feels like at times you have to do a backflip or a flip in general to achieve what you need to, or to get to certain locations, destinations. But it won't feel like an immense struggle moving forward, but you do have to embrace change all the meanwhile and not overwork oneself or overthink along the way, okay? Learning more about oneself and how at times you do make things a bit more chaotic or a bit more messy than it needs to be, but nobody's perfect. You don't expect yourself to be, or don't take certain constructive criticism so much to heart that you feel a bit discouraged afterwards, all right? Again, with the Chariot, being prepped to go after something that's going to make your life 10 times better, more fulfilled, more peaceful and enjoyable. They're saying more colorful, all right? And going back to the overall message, it's a week where you're being pushed to recognize the race to your freedom doesn't have to feel or even be a race, right? Who are you racing with? With oneself? It feels like you at times view yourself as your biggest competitor or your biggest motivator as well. But again, it needs to just be an enjoyable ride along the way. They're showing me somebody in a little old car going at a comfortable pace with the wind in their hair. Anyways, with the 2 of Cups, the Page of Swords, and the Devil coming out again, we're just saying as well, it's not, you're not on a roller coaster, okay? Or in a speed car race. You're learning more about what you desire in connections throughout the week as well, or about a specific somebody. And it may be a bit disheartening or just eye-opening, but all the meanwhile, it's a process to gain more knowledge about oneself and about others and where you're meant to head as far as connections go and in life as a whole. But I just feel like all this knowledge is going to help you more than hinder you. And you need to recognize that if you just feel as if certain emotions come to the surface throughout the week. And just don't overthink once again. But you may also learn how overworking oneself has affected certain connections. Or the potential of certain ones. All right. Allowing for oneself to remember once again, slow and steady wins the race as you desire your freedom, your stability, and success so badly. Let's answer your question. For Cancer. Alrighty, as it picks up speed, you're getting an answer of yes. You got a yes. So I hope this reading was truly helpful. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Go have yourself an amazing week, and I'll definitely see you next time. Bye, Cancer.